Right, today we're going to talk about solving systems of equations. So solving systems of equations, we can have different types of equations. So for example, if we have two linear equations, let's say we've got one here, and then let's say we've got another one here. What we're going to look at is where these two lines intersect each other. They intersect one place, so this has one solution. And when they have one solution, they are said to be consistent and independent. Okay, so consistent and independent. Now, if we go back and we have two lines that are parallel to each other, we don't have any solutions. So that is zero solutions or no solutions. And if we have no solutions, then they are said to be inconsistent okay? And then the last one, I can't spell, let me go back, let me correct that. And then the last one is an example of, let's say, I have a line here, and then I also have another one that is right on top of it. So that means that when I look at it, I have an infinite number of solutions. Right? And when I have an infinite number of solutions, this is also called consistent. But it's called consistent and dependent because every point in one line is also in the other line. So these are dependent. So infinite number of solutions is dependent. One solution is independent. And no solutions are inconsistent. So you'll see or hear those types of words that are used to describe when you have linear to linear equations. The next types of equations we can have, well, we can have linear and quadratic equations. So let's say that I have, let me go back. Let's say that I have this line right here. And then I've got a quadratic. Well, remember, your quadratic is a parabola. Okay? So I've got that, and we have 2 points of intersection here. So I have 2 points of intersection, so I have 2 solutions. If I go back and I have a line, and then I have a parabola that just simply touches at one point, we call that tangent, then we have only one solution. And then, of course, we could have a place where, let's say that I have a line here, and I have a line that opens, and then I have a parabola up above it that opens, and it never crosses. So they never touch, they never intersect, so this is no solutions. Okay, then we have some quadratic equations that we could have. So we could have 2 parabolas. We can have one, let's say, that opens up like this, and then we could have another one that opens down like this. Well, when we look at it, they happen to intersect at 2 separate places. So this one has 2 solutions. Okay, if we have one here where we have one that opens up, and then we have one that opens down that are tangent. They're vertices. Their vertices are the only things that they share. The vertex is the same. So we have one solution. All right. Then we could actually have one where we've got one that's opening down, and we've got one over here that's opening up. And they never touch, they never cross, so this would be no solution. And then we have one where when we graph it, we have this graph, and then we have another one that's exactly the same curve. It lies right directly over top of it, so this would be an infinite number of solutions. Right? So you have lots of different types of solutions and numbers of solutions just depending upon the type of equations that you have. If we look at solving systems of equations, they are represented by two or more linear or nonlinear equations. And the solution is just simply where they cross each other, where they happen to intersect. So if I'm looking at these two equations here, my 2x minus 3 is my red graph. Okay, it's here. And my x plus 1 is my blue graph. And they happen to intersect at this particular point. They intersect at the point 4, 5. So that is a solution. If you want to check to see if it's a solution, you can plug this in to both equations and this in to both equations for y and see if they make true statements. If they make true statements, then you know it's a solution. Just remember, the number of intersections is the number of solutions that you have. 2 intersections is 2 solutions. 1 intersection is 1 solution, and no intersection is no solution. So if I give you a couple of systems and I ask you to solve them by graphing substitution, there is another method called elimination that you could use. Some systems will have more than 1 intersection and will have more than 1 solution. So for example, if I graph this in Desmos, put this in, that's my red graph, x plus 6, that's my blue graph. I actually have 2 solutions. So I would write both ordered pairs because they're both solutions. In the second one, this 3x plus y equals 10 is my green equation. The x minus 2 is my blue equation. Both of those are linear equations, so they only intersect at one place. That's the solution for those. If I look at some graphs that I already have and try to figure out what my apparent solutions are for them, I just simply look here, where does it intersect? So that's 1, 2, 3, 1. So 3, 1 would be the intersection here, apparent solutions. -2, 4. And over here would be 1, 2, 3, 9. So I have 2 apparent solutions for that one. If I look at this one, they don't ever cross, they don't ever touch, so I have no solution. Now look at this one. I have a linear equation and I have a cubic equation. So I have one intersection that is here at -3, 0. I have another point that they intersect, which is here at -1, 2. And then I have a third one up here that is at 1, 4. So this one actually has 3 intersections. It has 3 solutions. When you're going to plug in some complex equations, sometimes they don't have them set up as 2 separate equations. Sometimes they're written like this. If you do that, then you just simply separate them into 2 equations. So you plug this in for one graph. So that's going to be the red graph here. Then you'll plug this in for the second graph. Remember, you just enter another equation. So this is going to be your blue line, and you look to see where they intersect. All right? Solutions are at -4, 0, -1, 3, and 1, 5. So when you're looking at those and they just want to know where it crossed the x-axis, these are all your x values here. Another way is you're looking at these. I think I put these over top of it, didn't I? Yeah. So this would be one equation. So I would type in my equation, y equals x squared. So that's this purple graph. I would skip down and I would type in y equals x plus 6. That's my black graph. So when I look at these, I have actually 2 solutions for this one at -2, 4 and 3, 9, depending upon what they ask. My x values are -2 and 3. My y values are 4 and 9. So you can break it up into x and y values if you need to. All right, this is my first equation, so that's the blue graph. This is my second equation, that's my green graph, and these only intersect at 2 places, here and here. And those are some nasty little numbers, but you can still, in Desmos, you can get them, and it's not difficult to find what your answers are. So make sure that you separate them, make sure that you plug them into Desmos, and you shouldn't have any problems with finding your solutions. Just make sure that if you have to, that you're able to zoom out when you have Desmos, because you want to be able to see as far as they may intersect. So you may have to be zooming out or zooming in to come up with your correct answers.